Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you about the mistakes that I made when I was healing my eczema, and boy, I made quite a few. So if you guys are ready, let's jump on into the video. The very first mistake I made when trying to heal my eczema naturally was not resting enough. And I know that you're making that mistake too. I can bet you anything that you're making that mistake too. Especially if you're going through topical steroid withdrawal, not getting enough rest is detrimental to your healing process. I'm the type of person, okay, let's start this off with telling you I was diagnosed with ADHD, and it just causes me to not want to rest. I'm constantly thinking of ideas, and I'm super spontaneous, and I'm very impulsive, and it causes me to burn out very easily. Not only does that burnout cause my eczema, but the burnout makes it so that my eczema isn't healing. It sucks. It's like the worst thing ever. So prioritizing rest and prioritizing time to unwind. When I teach Empowered Eczema, the eczema coaching program, I teach my clients that you need to take 10 minutes to yourself to rest. So let's say you're working a super busy job. Let's say, for example, you're a barista at Starbucks and you have a 10-minute break. Great. Go into your car by yourself, set a timer for 10 minutes, put your phone down, and literally do nothing. Process. Our lives are so busy. We're taking in so much information that we're not taking any time to process. And your body, when it's healing something like eczema, especially if it's severe eczema, it needs time to process. It needs time to heal. A lot of times when you feel exhausted and you feel sick, it's because your body is telling you that you need that time to rest up. You need to hunker down and take the time to rest and recover. It's really, really important for this entire process, and something that I don't think a lot of people think about. I've had clients before who will go run a marathon and then go to a party while they have TSW. And I'm telling you that that's just not gonna work. That sort of lifestyle is not going to lead to healthy, beautiful skin when you're trying to heal. The second mistake I made was trying to listen to too many people's advice when it comes to food. I love reading research articles about nutrition. I love reading books that doctors put out, like Dr. Stephen Gundry, Dr. Josh Axe, like a bunch of different people put out these books, Dr. Walter Longo, Dr. William Lee. Like, I love it. I love reading the books. However, these people do not specialize in eczema. Okay? And so sometimes their advice isn't exactly specific to eczema itself. And their advice is never going to be specific to your individual body. And the mistake that I would make is I would start reading all about this one topic. I got super interested. I would try to change my diet to fit in these new nutrients. My body just doesn't like it. And you have to listen to your body when it comes to food and eczema and diet, because what foods I can eat, you might have an allergy to. What foods that a doctor tries to tell you to eat, you might have a stomach reaction to. Like, no matter how good oranges are for you, I can't tolerate them. No matter how good apples are for you, I can't tolerate them. Same goes with almonds. Like, these are all healthy foods, but my body just does not tolerate them. And I wish it would, but it just doesn't. I've tried eating them off and on for years, and that's just not how my body personally functions the best. And so, do you guys hear that? There's a dog whining outside. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. I hope not. But basically, you have to create your own diet. Whether you write it down in a book or whatever, creating your own diet based on a diet, like based on your root cause, but don't follow it to the T, because it's likely gonna make your eczema worse. It's a German Shepherd out outside. German Shepherd. I can see the dog now. Very cute. I love German Shepherds. The third mistake I made was trying to put on moisturizer because that's what people say you need to do for your eczema. I explained this in my last video, but like sometimes people have wet eczema and sometimes people have dry eczema. I've had both. I've had times where I relied on moisturizer. I had to put on shea butter or coconut oil. I had to put something on or my skin was gonna crack and bleed. But then I had other times where I tried to put moisturizer on and it made everything worse. Like I think one of the worst mistakes is like trying to use drugstore products for your eczema. Like I kept trying different brands and it kept burning my eczema. It would make the condition way worse. It sucked. It wasn't what my body needed. The best stuff I ever used was like shea butter, olive oil, avocado oil, and it was like on one period of time I had eczema. The rest of the time I literally cannot touch it with anything or it just gets mad at me. So the biggest mistake I made was like trying to put something on my skin when my skin did not want something on it. The fourth mistake that I consistently make is consuming caffeine in the forms of coffee and chocolate. And this might just be a me thing. Well, coffee is kind of not really great for people with eczema. We don't react very well to coffee in general. My personal body is really sensitive to caffeine, and it has something to do with my liver or ADHD or something, but consistently trying to consume coffee or chocolate, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It makes my eczema worse. And sometimes if I get overly caffeinated, even with something like a green tea or a matcha, it makes everything worse. And that for me personally, I know is related to ADHD because I go in and I hyper focus on getting way too many things done. And that feeds into the very first one that I talked about. It like prevents me from resting because it like makes me work too much. So you might want to see if caffeine's not good for your eczema either. Like try to notice connections between that. Take a day where you don't consume any form of caffeine and see how your body does, because you might be like me. The fifth mistake I ever made was scratching my freaking skin. Like I can't even imitate it because honestly it's triggering. I used to scratch the crap out of my skin when it was severe because it was so itchy. But I've actually trained myself to not itch my eczema. I will not. I have a patch of eczema behind my knee right now and I haven't touched it at all. I will not scratch it. Even in my sleep, I will not scratch my eczema because I've retrained my mind to not itch. I have a video that I'm gonna link in the description box that talks about how to retrain your mind so that you don't scratch your eczema. Scratching your eczema is the worst mistake you will ever make because it causes the hyperpigmentation because you're actually thickening the skin. Your skin's trying to protect from the scratching. It's a disaster. It can cause infections. It causes it to spread. Like it is just nasty. It is not good for your skin at all. So I hope you guys can take these 5 mistakes that I've made and make sure you course correct and like make sure you're not doing them so that you can actually heal your eczema naturally. Because I know that this whole process is difficult, but sometimes you can make it more difficult on yourself by making mistakes like these. So if you like this quick little video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm always putting out eczema content. All right guys, see you in my next video.
I like crashing waves, but I wanna see them at first light after a long night and see the sky take shape.